Welcome, everybody, back to the Fortress of Solitude. I am D'Lo Brown, and I'm sitting next to the founder of 3PWA and multiple-time Legion of Valor champion, Tony Raze. Tony, what is going on, my brother?
Dude, I'm about half tired.
Bro, well, we both been running our tails off, and that's the reason we haven't had a podcast in a few weeks here, because it's the first time you and I have legit had a chance to sit down next to each other for more than 5 minutes and talk.
I mean, we've had a few conversations via the phone, but
yeah, but nothing like we couldn't do a podcast with you in Pittsburgh and me in Toronto, and so like now we're back here in Corona. It's time to get busy, and it's time to do a little bit of a catch up, if you will. We're gonna go back over the last 6 weeks of wrestling and banter back and forth.
Absolutely, that's what we do best,
bro. We lead the universe in useless information conversations. Yeah. All right. So
I'll buy that for $1.
I got that for
name that movie.
I'd buy that for $1. I can't remember.
Did I stump him?
You got me. I can hear the guy going, I'd buy that for $1. What movie?
Want a RoboCop?
Salesman on TV. God. Anyway, let's rewind time a little bit and let's go back to top rate special effects right there. You see, we spare no expense. None whatsoever. We just went back in time 6 weeks. You heard the sound. Let's go back to Sin City and let's talk about WrestleMania, the 2-night spectacular event that happened just a few weeks ago, and it's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. So let's cherry pick a few things from night 1 and night 2, and then I'll get your quick little thoughts on it.
You know, I don't even remember what was what.
I will try my best to remember. Let's cherry pick on top. Let's go. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes for the World Championship.
Them two have the potential to knock a home run anytime they're in the ring together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you add the extra, I thought it was going to be done at the beginning of the match with the jelly roll and the Pat what's his nuts and
McAfee. Yeah.
That guy. I get it. He's trained. He knows the business. He's been around the business a while, but he's got his feet in two different areas.
Well, and that was a point of controversy too, with him really getting interjected into the angle lead in the build up, the penultimate, few days before. All of a sudden, now they kind of switched direction on the booking going into Mania Weekend. And do you think that kind of took a little luster off the match, or do you think it fueled the fire?
I felt like it did. Like, these guys worked their asses off year in, year out to get that spot.
Yes.
Not my dog spot.
Not sit spot. Wrestling spot.
So, it's like, then when you throw that in there, it's just like, as a fan first, you got to sit back and go, why did they do that?
Yeah. The thing I was hearing from a lot of friends and fans was it was kind of confusion, storyline confusion in terms of like 1 minute. And I will say this, Cody and Randy have a built-in natural feud history stretching all the way back to OVW. I don't think anything else needs to be involved in that. Like those two
legacy alone.
They've been tied together almost since day one. And it just seemed like, in the words of my good friend Jim Cornette, seemed like a hat on top of hat on top of hat. It just seemed like too much of a good thing isn't necessarily always a good thing.
Now, how about this? Did you see who was in the audience?
Well, there was 64,000 people in the audience.
Speaking of legacy.
Oh, yes. Yeah. DiBiase Jr. And that was literally hours after his not guilty verdict in his trial in Mississippi, which a lot of people thought was very weird timing. And then there was some controversy came out with Randy sending a direct message to DiBiase Jr. saying that, DiBiase Jr. owed him some cash, if you will, a little cash.
Really?
25 gur.
Ooh.
That ain't no small chunk of change.
Not at all.
Not it ain't. That's it. Anyway, so that's their own.
I can get in trouble with that kind of money.
I would say let's take a week, like a trip to Vegas. Since I live there, it's no fun.
Oh, I should get somewhere else.
Between you and I, let's get off the air. We don't want to leave any evidence of this conversation.
I was thinking like in Costa Rica or something, like, you know.
Why you got to tell people where we going?
We're going fishing, man.
Yeah, in Cabo. In Cabo. So let's move on a little bit. One of the big matches that had a lot of people talking, and maybe less so for the hype and the buzz going into the match, but it was the situation that happened after the 1, 2, 3, and I'm talking about Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Now we had a 7 or 8 minute crash and burn with two super heavyweights going at it, but after the 1, 2, 3, Brock Lesnar kind of surprised the entire wrestling world and took his boots off in the ring.
You know, I love Brock Lesnar. I love the thought of Brock Lesnar. He's a big, beefy dude that can legit fight.
Yes.
You know, the purest wrestling side of me, you know, I love that type of a competitor.
Yeah.
An Angle, a Lesnar, your boy over there in AEW.
Oh, Shelton Benjamin. Yeah. The shooters.
Haas.
Shooters gonna shoot. Bang,
bang. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. But there's a history of Brock matches going one way or the other real quick.
Well, Brock is not going to give you war and peace in the ring.
Like, you know, he don't get paid by the hour.
No, and that, you know what? And I ain't mad at it.
When it takes 20 minutes to get to the ring, 5 minutes in the ring, 10 minutes back out of the ring. Like, you know, that's my time.
And you know, that's a valid concern. And here's the thing. I always think of Brock Lesnar as, I don't want to see Brock isn't a commodity. Same with Obafemi. Mm-hmm. They're both these huge giant monsters. I don't want to see them having 20-minute matches.
No.
I want to see them either destroying or get destroyed in 6 minutes. Old school giant man wrestling where Andre the Giant, you never saw Andre wrestle more than like 5 minutes. Might have taken Andre 10 minutes to get to the ring.
True.
But
then again, he you know, he was slow.
Well, yes. Yeah.
But, you know, like, but people wanted to see that. When you see a crowd of 20,000 people and you see a flat line here, and then you see this one guy coming out, and all you see is head, shoulders, and you're like, oh, snap. Like,
yeah.
Paul White, Big Show.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him once in Springfield, Missouri,
mm-hmm.
and my mouth hit the ground because I could not believe how big that dude really is.
So you know what that's called? You know, that's called the airport test, and that was a test that I know his name carries a lot of negative weight. Vince McMahon used to use all the time mm-hmm. to determine superstars. Yeah. And the airport test is, you may not imagine yourself sitting in an airport, sitting there waiting for your connection, and you see someone walking down the middle of the airport, walking to another gate. You may not know what that guy does specifically, but the thought in your mind is, that guy does something.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but he does something. That's the airport test. That used to be one of the prerequisites to be in the business. That you had to take over a room when you walked in with your sheer presence, because that translates to TV.
I get that. It's like people look at me, they don't look up at me, but when they look at me, they shoulder to shoulder, going, "Damn, that dude's fucking wide."
Mm-hmm.
So I do make up for it in width. So
doesn't matter if it's height or width, as long as it's girth. Wait. We'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone.
Don't matter. Just don't.
We'll leave that alone. That's the thing is you want, like, for generations, wrestlers had to be that person who, when they walked in a room, they either eclipsed the room or took over the room with their personality. And that's one of those things where again, you've said it yourself. I may not know what he does. I don't know who he is, but I wish I did, because I'd like to see the other men he's running into.
Right.
What's going on, everybody? I am D'Lo Brown, and this is Tony Raze, and we are trainers at the Circle City Wrestling Academy here in Corona, California. And it's something we both take pride in, the fact that when you walk through these doors, we call it a higher education of professional wrestling, where you get to learn every aspect of wrestling, not just wrestling and refereeing, but production, announcing, hell, even life on the road. You can learn here at the CCWA Arena.
We cover everything from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we're one of the only schools that do.
And I agree. We also provide and offer seminars from some of the biggest names that have been in this industry. We've had Brian Kendrick here. We've had myself here, and we will have many, many other superstars that you know.
Back in the day, we did do some before the school was even open.
This is true.
Sin Bodie.
Yes. These are all just extensions. So these will continue. We are here in Corona, California. We are taking students. We take all levels from you don't know anything to we have drop-ins from people that you've seen on Monday and Thursday and Wednesday and Saturday night. So come on here to Corona, California. Visit us if you're looking to explore learning the world of professional wrestling. There's no better place to do it in Southern California than the CCWA.
If you can't learn anything from this guy, yeah.
Recognize.
And I look at it this way. Me being a promoter that I am, and the wrestler, if I see somebody walking down the aisleway and be like, I can make some money off him. Or I'll walk into a room, look at the ceiling, how big the room. Ooh, I could put a ring in here. Like, it's the same thing.
It is the norm. Every wrestler has driven by a roller skating rink and go, I wonder if I can get a show in that building. Every wrestler has thought it at least once. And pick a building as you're driving around. You're like, man, a show could fit in here. I could put a ring in here. What I could get in here, 300 people, 400. Every wrestler had that thought, whether you're walking into a supermarket, a freaking shoe store, you've had this thought, a flea market, pick it. So, I get it. And I had that thought driving today when I was getting breakfast. I was like, we can put a show in here.
Last weekend we stopped at a restaurant here locally in Corona, kind of a newer place, and said live music on Wednesday nights, and I'm like, where do they put the band? I mean, if you move the tables out, that might be able to squeeze a ring.
Once you start reconfiguring the building, your head, this place can fit wrestling.
And one subject I normally don't talk about, but church. I went to church on Sunday and started looking at the curtains, started looking at the lights, and I'm like,
Okay. Okay. Now I hate jumping into story time, but it reminds me of one time, and I love him to death. But the late great Umaga, he'd give me a call one time. He goes, "Hey, D'Lo, I got a show going on in Pensacola. Would you mind showing up for me?" And I'm in Orlando at the time, and it's about a 4-hour drive. I'm like, you know what? For you, Eki, I'm gonna drive up there. Just toss me some gas money, I'll be there. So he gives me the address, right? Type it in the GPS, boom, driving along. Finally, I'm a mile away from the address, and I see this giant mega church rise up, and I'm like, he's got a show in a mega church. This is pretty awesome. I'm like, wow. So I pull up to the front, and there's no cars. There's nothing in the parking lot, nothing. And I go, so I call Eki. Come around back there. Come back, Goose. Okay. So I wheel to the back of the thing. And as I drive around, I see the ring under the delivery awning. Wasn't inside the church. It was just the awning for rain and where it was delivered. And he put the ring under that. I don't even know if he had permission to be on the property. I just know he set a ring up under the awning, and there was a few hundred people there in the parking lot of the mega church in Pensacola.
Can I get a hey, man?
And at that point, I said, the boys gonna be the boys, aren't they?
Throughout the years, I've been to a few church shows.
Yeah.
The Nikita Koloff has done a few.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Slim, he's done a few.
Tully Blanchard has done a few.
DiBiase Sr.
George South has done a few. Love George South, by the way. Shout out to George South. I gotta love the man. He's one of them. I love him.
I feel you.
Love George South. But yeah. So guys have done church shows before, and they've been a staple in the past. I mean, we've done some in Smoky Mountain. Everywhere I've been, you somehow you get to a church show.
It's weird, but it works.
It works.
I mean, it's all about timing too.
It is.
Everything in this business is about timing. You got to be in the right place, right time. I don't know how many times I've showed up to a show going, not booked, but got my gear, got everything I need. Promoter comes up, oh, hey, yeah, you got your gear? Yeah. Next thing I know, I got a couple $100 in my pocket because I just happened to be there.
One of the lessons that was taught to me when I was first breaking in, and we as the boys, we always look for an opportunity. We always look for an opportunity to work. And the lesson that was taught to me is you can never get an opportunity sitting on your couch.
And something that the great Jesse Hernandez used to always say to me was, wait, I want to make sure I say it right.
Quote Jesse the right way. Don't disrespect Jesse.
My God, he'll stretch me out.
Yes, till this day he will. Don't let hey, guys and girls out there, don't let Jesse shake your hand. If you see Jesse Hernandez in the Southern California area, wave. Don't let him take your hand, because if he grabs you, he ain't letting go. Just let.
Experience talking. Just saying.
He ain't letting go until you squeal, till you cry uncle.
A carpenter doesn't go to work without his tools.
No, and Jesse is always strapping with his tools. Again, that didn't sound right. Back to Jesse's quote.
Come again? No,
yeah. Woo.
All right.
Well, I think that wraps it up for this week of the Force of Solitude.
Before we go, there's some news that we need to talk about.
Oh,
local news, in the Orange County area.
Oh, wait, breaking news here.
What do you think about this chemical leak?
And that's right in your backyard too. In
more than you know,
Orange Grove,
Garden Grove.
So for those who don't know, and the rest of those who see this, there is a chemical plant in Garden Grove, California, which is 6 miles from Disney. And it got to a point where it had a malfunctioning sensor or something and caused essentially a meltdown. And it's for a week. Everyone within a 100-mile radius of this thing has been on pins and needles because if it blows up, it's going to release this toxic cloud called MMA or something of those that and
kind of MMA. My bad.
And it would affect everything from LA down to San Diego and as far over as Arizona. So we've been on pins and needles here.
We're talking 50,000 people.
Forced evacuation.
And it just so happens that my place was in that zone.
And for those who don't know, the greater LA area might have 10 million people within, 100 square miles. I mean, so it's a dense population center, and you're going to drop this plume cloud. Now, luckily, over the weekend, they seem to have gotten it under control.
The chemical cured up inside. It finally cooled off.
Yeah, and they did something that was able to activate the cooling system of some sort. So they seem like they had it under control, but it was crisis averted this time. It didn't explode until it does. And that's the question is, I think it's a larger, and here we are, let's devolve into a philosophical question. I think for the richest country in the world, we have some of the poorest infrastructure in the world. And I do not understand how the two can be the same.
I get that point. It's just, to me, my understanding is this company had gotten some red flags.
And that's the thing, that investigation is going to come out.
Like, they knew it was going to happen. The government knew it was going to happen. And they still didn't go in and do anything about it.
And that's a problem.
And that, to me, that yells lawsuit all over the place.
Oh, I would say there's, for every person who was forced to evacuate, that's a class action lawsuit. Stephen P. knew when I hear it called Stephen. Just saying. Oh, he's a wrestling attorney. Never mind. That's a free plug for Stephen anyway. But yeah, I would believe that everyone who was forced to evacuate, that could be a class action lawsuit. Just saying. But
I'd take my $20 out of that. I mean,
you know what? Hey, look, that's a double in and out these days. Well, I guess it sounds like a good catch up to you. Sounds fun. We kind of touched on base. We touched on a few things, and we kind of brought people up to speed. And we promise you right now, it will not be this long in between now and the next episode. Promise from Tony and I right now. I guarantee you that.
Totally.
So, Tony, any closing words?
Just stay safe out there.
Well, with that being said, for Tony Raze, I'm D'Lo Brown. You better recognize.